No. All right, so good morning. This is Jose Azcarate with blackFLAG Futures Trading. It is at 9:52 a.m. on Friday, December 19th, 2025. So I am currently sharing my screen with the high pressure swing arms displayed. And what I like to do is just go over my morning routine and walk you over my analysis as I take a look at price action before the market opens. So right now I just changed the display to show the higher time frames utilizing long-term channels, trend lines, as well as price waves or moving averages. And I have the four symbols on the chart utilizing regular candles. Actually all of my analysis on high pressure is done on high Fibonacci candles, but from this perspective, long-term view, I'm using regular candles to get another perspective on price action. So right now, this is the 4-hour chart, and if we take a look at the 4-hour chart, we see that Russell is hitting the trend line multiple times. We have the anchor, we have the hit, 2 and 3. So the fourth hit is a potential breakup. On the Dow, we have no trend line here, but we can see there's a hit here, a breakup here, but then the trend line is roughly right here if you were to look at it, also with multiple hits, but that's way beyond up here. Now, where price action is right now is below this center line, and price went up to it and rejected. Now it seems to be attempting to go back, test that. In the case of ES, we have ES also hitting the trend line several times. So the more times it gets hit, the more likely that it could potentially break up and then target this trend line up here. If the trend line holds, then it may come back and backtest either this diagonal line or this support trend line over here. Now, if we look at NQ, we have the same thing. We have multiple hits to the red trend line. Price dropped into trend 6, found support and bounced right back with strength to the trend line. And now we're stuck in this triangle. So if I expand this a little bit, you can see the triangle here where price is stuck. Is it likely to break up? Possibly. Certainly it's been hit many times, so it's potentially likely to break up. But also, we can also run out of energy here, and in order to break up, it may come down to test 50-minute swing arms and then potentially bounce back. If the 50-minute swing arms does not hold, then it opens the door to coming back to trend 6 down here on the 4-hour chart. So let me now just change this to the 8-hour chart, which I also take a look at. So as far as the 8-hour chart, we don't have any trend lines close by on the Russell. We have one on the Dow that may attempt to test up here at 463. Then we have in ES, we have all these trend lines where price bounced from it up to it, tested it a little bit and turned right back down. And now we're bouncing right back up. So, time will tell what will happen, but there's confluence on all of them of hitting that downtrend line, and it may potentially attempt to go up. Now, in order to go up, it's likely that price goes down to get some buyers at a lower level and then give it a try heading up to the upside. If we go to the daily chart, and let me refresh the screen, the daily chart we have in ES, we're right at the back trend, back section of this trend line. We have nothing close by on the daily. On the Dow, we have nothing. And then on the Russell is attempting to test this diagonal line right here. Price may come back down to this trend line and bounce right back up. So we'll see. But in order to get a better understanding, short term for today's price action, the 4-hour is critical to understand the likelihood of potential breakup. But in order to break up, it's likely that price may come back down to test supports to then rally back up. So that's the big picture analysis. And so now let me move that out of the way. And then I'm going to then bring in a chart that actually is made out of three columns. So let me bring that over. And it starts with the 4 hour. And the 4 hour has the 4 hour high pressure swing arm that gives me a longer term view or where significant resistance is. Let me just turn off a few things to kind of simplify this a little to highlight the features of the high pressure swing arm. The high pressure swing arm is available on TradingView, and you can search for it by name, SwingArm High Pressure. The SwingArm High Pressure has the ability to display pressure in a limited number of time frames: the 1 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. So 4 hour is the highest level that it displays the swing arm, but it does calculate or reviews pressure among all the way to the monthlies. But as far as displaying the swing arms, it goes up to the 4 hour. So the swing arm itself has the ability to select the time frames by just going to the select trading type, and you can select the current time frame, 15 minutes or 1 hour, or the current time frame, 2 hour and 4 hour. In this case, I'm looking at the 4 hour time frame. If I go down to the 2 hour, then it's going to show me the 2 hour swing arm and the 4 hour swing arm. So let's do that. Let me go down to the 2 hour and then let it load up, and then we'll see that we have a situation in which price went from the daily long-term fib support and bounced back through the bullish zone that it was broken as it attempted to test the daily. And then this bullish zone is giving us the understanding that this is a high pressure bullish zone where price comes to it, it tends to bounce with strength to target the resistance zones, which we see here. Then the resistance is priced back to the optimal entry level and bounces right back to the resistance, and the cycles continue over and over until it gets enough energy, the source of energy from the daily, then sends price all the way to the 4 hour top. And that's what we're experiencing for the past several days. Then we had the drop. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then breakdown. And when price gets into the zones of the swing arm zones become support and resistance. So that's what's happening here. Breaks through the fib of the 4 hour, comes back to test the fib of the 4 hour, fib 61.8 actually, and then bounces all the way to the 100 fib. Then comes back again to test the 61.8. It tries to break it and fails and goes back to now test the newly created broken 2 hour high pressure bearish swing arm, sending price back down. And it goes down to in close proximity to the blue zone, and then bounces right back. So we have now two swing arms, high pressure nested, pointing to the downside. Price may come back down to test this 61.8 fib of the 4 hour. And this is our active range, the top of the 4 hour to the bottom of the 4 hour zones. Now, the fact that this was broken as hard as it was, it could potentially give us a continuation to test the zone. Since buyers have been able to hold this resistance, the seller have been able to hold it. May price come down, it's possible, to then backtest the zones. And I foresee that this will likely happen for the next several days to weeks into the new year. The process of testing a 4 hour chart, unless there's an outside, interference with price action, which could easily happen, under normal price action, it will likely test that for a few weeks. So don't be married to one direction or the other. Price will do what it will do every single day. So here it is. So let me go back again to the 4 hour and leave it as my basis. So I'd like to be able to look at my 3 columns and visualize price among the various time frames. So now I'm going to bring in the 15 minutes, and let me refresh the chart. so that it reloads. And then I'm going to just to reduce some of the action. Let me turn on some of the trend lines, reduce the long-term channel. And now let's just look at this right now. So we have a trend line here of support. We have an oversold situation highlighted right here in this zone on this 15 minutes chart. This is happening at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. And then price starts to then target the resistances until it gets overbought to then send price back down into the swing arm. So this process of cycling is occurring, and as we can see, we have a squeeze situation. We have a downtrending 1 hour high pressure swing arm with an uptrending high pressure swing arm. Now notice they're in red and green. So the level of pressure is less than if it was blue and yellow. Those are the two colors. Yellow is high pressure bearish and blue is high pressure bullish. This is now normal trending price action, where price is just going up to resistance, down to supports, up to resistance, down to supports. Now, what I can see right now is that the swing on 15 minutes is stepping up. So buyers are pushing pressure upwards. And now we have a squeeze situation in which we have excellent selling pressure and strong buying pressure. Right now it is 9:03, so the market hasn't opened to the full session. So we're still not seeing enough action to move the market, but we certainly have a squeeze to start the session. We can easily see it here. So now if I go down to the 1 minute chart, and let me refresh that chart, we can take a look at this, and I'm going to compress it all the way so we can see the Asia session open area. This is around 7 o'clock p.m. last night, in which buyers responded to this trend line support. We have double support lines right here. Price bounces up, breaks up the swing arm and creates the buy bucket. Price comes to test the 61.8 and 78.6, and then speeds up to the upper levels from prior, sending price back down to the zones, and then starting to cycle on the way up. As time passes, at 4:30 a.m., price reaches the trend lines of resistance and price turns over. And now we have a cycling of the swing arm to the downside. And currently the automation is short with a contract. What happens when a trigger happens? Price may turn back around and back test the resistance zone, and it is exactly what's occurring. So if this resistance zone gets broken, it will close the trade. Okay, so for now it's just testing. We're still in a bearish environment as of this moment. So let's see if there's any continuation. So that's pretty much my review of how I look at price every morning. I started with the higher time frames, then go to the 15 minutes, then go to the 1 minute, and leave it at that. So I hope this gives you some guidance and understanding of price action utilizing the SwingArm High Pressure, and you'll have a great day. I'll go ahead and stop the recording, and then I'll post it later to YouTube.